Good morning, everybody. This is Richard back at you. We got Miss Teresa on the camera. We got Annie hanging out, always taking care of the shop. Well, we're back on our 2006 2500 HD 6.0 motor 4L80E tranny with a 261 HD manual transfer case. It doesn't have an electric motor on it. It has a shifter in the floor where you got to shift it through all the gears and stuff like that. So what happened was on this one here, it ended up slinging the drive shaft out of the back, broke the transfer case adapter. You can see it here. And of course the customer didn't know it. He put a new drive shaft in it and drove it, not knowing that the adapter was broken because there's no fluid in the adapter. The seal here for the transfer case keeps the fluid in the transfer case. The seal in the back of the transmission keeps the fluid in the transmission, and so there's no fluid in here. He would have never seen any fluid leaking to know that this is broken. Vibration, noise, stuff like that, possibly. He should have heard that. But anyway, like I say, he drove it for a long period of time. Of course, since it broke the adapter, the transfer case was leaning real bad, and it wore it down 1/8 of an inch or more. You can see it right there. So there's no way to put an adapter back on the transfer case and bolt it back down, especially on the bottom, because it would just snap it off. Now we do have a new transfer case half over here, and then we have our new adapter here. So you would see here, if we bolted it down on that one, it would probably just break it off right here because there's nothing here to pull it down to where these just set perfectly flush like that. So this is a new case half, new bearings, everything. We got our new seal kit. We got new shift forks, shift fork inserts, because you never know. This has got quite a few miles on it. What's going to be, actually wore out in the transfer case itself. So, well, anyway, we're going to get this apart. I did notice the ball right here loose on the shifter lever. Now this is like they put it in and flatten the end of it like that. There's no clip. So I got to swap everything over anyway, so I'll put this back on and TIG weld it on the back of it where it's still solid. We have our electronic switch here to when you move the shifter on the transfer case. It turns the light on in the dash, and also it engages the front differential. There's an electric motor on the front differential that moves the shift fork back and forth to lock the axle in. Then on here we have our output speed sensor. This could be for the speedometer, or there could even be one on the differential. I didn't look. Also, some of them here have a sensor here. You notice there's a hole here, but it's not drilled or tapped for one. And right here it is drilled and plugged, so I could take that plug out and put another one here. Depending on what type of unit or computer system, whatever they're doing, using the transfer case for, they can put it in different vehicles. But this is an HD, so everything should be heavy, heavy duty inside. We have a rubber plug here. There's a snap ring down in here that brings everything back and locks it where everything in the back of the transfer case right here stays solid to this bearing right here. So there's a snap ring down in there. The gasket set does come with a new plug. Of course, we have our output shaft seal here of a bushing. I did go ahead and take all the bolts out. See where I left them at. Just up here on the top. Now you can see here there's a retainer for a wire, and also here's another retainer for a wire. My basket's over there, but have our drain plug, our filler plug. You can see here 261 HD GM. If you need any parts, that's what you're going to be ordering from right there.
That's your identification tag.
Mm-hmm. You can see here they give you a little spot right here where you can kind of put something in there to get it apart. one over here, or over there and over here. But also you have a snap ring down in here that you have to hold open. There you go. You can see it right there. I got it out of the groove now. There's a snap ring, there's the groove. I've got it out of the bearing, but when you pull it back this way, put it in the snap ring, that's what holds everything back here. You can see here, doesn't look like the chain's been hitting anywhere. Normally you can just kind of grab this and pull it a little bit and straighten it and tell if your chain's tight or not. Now you see this little purple link right there, or blue link? That is an identification mark. So if you ever order a chain from the supplier, they might ask you if it has two purple links, one purple link, or whatever. We have you can see the snap ring down in here, though, right there. That hooks onto this bearing right here. And basically it just pulls everything out and lines everything up and holds it right there. You can see our output speed sensor reluctor right here. This is what this is going to be counting. We have a spring that goes right there. Set that like that. We have our output shaft bearing here. Groove goes to the outside. And then we have our reluctor. You're going to take this snap ring off here too. Like that. You're going to pull your oil pump off. You're going to grab that seal right there. And you're going to make sure you don't lose it. Sometimes your overhaul kit will come with it, sometimes it won't, and that is a special little seal. Say this is your oil pump here. Anytime the drive shaft turns, the oil pump pumps. Other than that, when you're sitting at a red light, there's no pressure going on in the transfer case. It is not pumping unless the drive shaft turns. And we have another snap ring right here you're going to be taking out. Then you're going to pull both these off at the same time, like that. Now, if I'm not changing anything, everything looks good, then I try to keep these just like that and then put them on just like that again. Okay. And we have our oil pump pickup here. Quite a bit of trash in there. And of course, you have your magnet right here. Sets down in there.
Looks like a little bit of...
Not as bad as you'd think. Could be a lot worse. So we're going to grab all this right here and we're going to pull it all in one whack. Okay. This is a shaft here. This is our mode fork. Right here. This actually is the one that locks it in four-wheel drive. And then we have our range fork down here. This is our low range, high range fork here. Now you can see your shift collar right here. Don't want to. There you go. This locks onto here. This is hooked to your four-wheel drive sprocket, remember? Pulled it off there. So when you lock this onto here, this activates the front drive shaft. Like that. Very simple. And then we have this fork down here. And sometimes you won't get it out. You might have to move this around a little bit to get it in the right position to get this out of there sometimes. Come on. Come on. I know you want to come out of there. Trying to get that to go back down in there. Something ain't fitting right. Come on. Okay. This is our fork here, that low range, high range. You can see here where it's starting to melt it. See, it's already starting to melt it off. Right there. Now, that's why, like on the shift forks here, you notice it come with a bag of inserts that went on the tips. Some of the forks that could have been in this unit, these could have been replaced. Well, these are bonded to the fork here, so these can't be replaced. This will be a bag of extra. So we'll just have to change the whole fork because it's melted right there. And when it does melt like that, if it ever gets to metal, you want to look in here really good. In here, because that's where that runs at. If this is all grinded up, messed up in there, your new fork is just going to grind it off too. Since this didn't go metal to metal, it just like it run along fluid and started melting it. This will probably still be good. But one thing you want to look at too on these, with the way these lock into four-wheel low and stuff, you want to look right here and make sure this ain't wore out on this side. It's kind of, you can see how it's got a point right here. That helps it lock in, giving it a point to go in. But the end of it's shaped like a roof of a house. It locks in, but it's got a little piece right here that comes back down. So when it gets on this side of it, that's what keeps it from jumping out. So you want to always look at that part. This piece here, we'll have to get it out, but this seal right here, guys, is a train wreck to get off, and I don't want to sit here and beat on it in front of you because I'm going to have to really work this over. These seals are really hard to get off, and they're really hard to get on without ruining them because this seal right here has its own internal sleeve. Basically, you could say that what it does is it keeps the seal from running on the part. It has the seal itself has a built-in sleeve. Let me open this up to show you. Wipe my gloves off a little bit on this. See, normally your seal would run on your yoke or on your deal here, okay? Well, instead of doing that, this has its own internal race right here. So when you press this seal on, you're pressing the internal race on and the outer of the seal in at the same time. So it's really easy to mess these seals up. I probably tore up 100 of them trying to get it down, but I finally got it down on how to install them. The trick is getting it off and then really cleaning around this part right here where this starts on at. Putting some lubricant and stuff where it starts going on straight, because it's really easy to put it on crooked. And once you get it on crooked, then it's going to leak no matter how you look at it. Here's our detent. Let's see if this will come off. This has our check ball and spring in it right there. I don't think I brought anything over here to get that off. Yeah, I don't think I have anything big enough over here to get that off right now. But the spring and detent ball is behind that. That's when you feel the lever go click, click, click. That's going to be what you're feeling. I don't know exactly what size it is. We got to gut this case completely. We don't need the bearings or anything out of it, but This could look like a little torpedo looking thing in here. If I can get it out. Oh, there it is. That's already out on the spring. So when you tighten that down, that tightens it down against the rooster cone right here, and that's what you're feeling clicking right here. I got this special little screwdriver I got here to take these seals out. There you go. And then you got a snap ring down in here. And you have your big planetary assembly. On this here, you basically want to look at the gears, make sure there's no pitting, make sure your thrust washers are all there on the end of the gears. Now this does have a pressured oil pump, so what's good about it, once the drive shaft starts turning, it physically sprays fluid in here. It's not that it has to be slung on, you know, like from the chain or something like that. You want to look down in here. You're going to have a little thrust washer, and you're going to have another one up here on top, which is round. I've seen them with a tab style on both sides, but you definitely always want to put a tab style on the bottom for 100%, okay? It locks in those grooves right there, and then you set your gear down in there, set this, and then put this. But I have seen tab style on top too. Or you can even grind the tab off if you wanted to, if that's all you had. But you want to look in here too, guys. Remember me talking about the wear you can get on here? You want to look in here because that's physically where it locks in. So you want to look everywhere for any type of wear. Quite a bit of stuff just inside a transfer case. Gear in it. Yeah. These do come out. There's a snap ring here. You can pull this ring. Change it. I've never changed one of these before. I buy a case before. If the ring gear is bad, I just buy a case because these ring gears are really hard to get out, even when you get the snap ring out of it. So, well, anyway, guys, we got plenty of things to do. We got a rear end job, a 4060E job. We got a 350 job that's going in a small block Chevrolet Volkswagen. Really cool car, guys. So we're really excited about that. And actually, he's got a Volkswagen. That tranny's not going in it. We've already done the training in the Volkswagen. This is actually going in a small block Malibu that he's got. I got him confused there. He's got a really cool Volkswagen. I'll try to put a picture in the video or something. That was really neat.
I think we got a picture of it on the wall somewhere.
Yeah, it's just a little one over there somewhere. I'm not sure where it's at.
But it sits in the back seat. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really quick too. Beautiful car, all tube chassis. Really cool. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Like I said, we got a lot of things coming. We want to thank Miss Teresa and Miss Annie for hanging out like always. Just a little puppy, I tell you. Don't forget to subscribe, push your notification bell, go check out our merch store, and y'all have a great weekend.